Should we start with the lyric?
Man, what we got?
We got Drizzy Drake. Don't ever forget the moment you begin to doubt, transitioning from fitting in to standing out. Before you get to the next level, just understand that you're gonna go through a testing period. You're gonna be like, man, is this really for me?
I noticed that I've been going through moments of doubt, some type of fear that is signaling that you're walking new territory.
Man, what we have today.
What we got?
5 signs you are transitioning into leadership. Sign number 1, you become more vocal. Or sign number 2, you begin to ask more questions.
Oh, can we go for number 3?
Your peers start to come to you for advice.
Oh my God.
The 4th sign, you block out all the noise and you focus on KPI. Sign number 5, leadership notices your increase in effectiveness. I'm in that period right now.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna say I'm ready to get promoted like right now.
Right.
Because I feel like I still got some performance that I need to do. But I noticed some things, some signs, if you call it, that are different from me going into year 3.
Okay.
That I didn't have, my first couple years as a area manager. So
okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. What you got, man? What you got?
So step 1, sign number 1. Sign number one. First sign. Here's the first sign that you are transitioning into leadership, or you become more vocal when things are not going right.
Okay.
So earlier on in my career,
right.
Well, not career, but just early on in my tenure in my current level, things would happen. And I really wouldn't like say too much,
right?
Because one, I just really didn't know if it was like the right thing to say, or like, I didn't know if I was right.
Oh, that's key, right?
And then 2, I also didn't want to step on nobody's toes.
Okay.
But this year, I throw it all that out,
man. You throwing hammers on,
because I know what I know for the most part, right? There's gonna be some things. Don't get it twisted. I don't know everything, right?
Right.
But I know what I know,
right?
So I'm a lot more confident in my role,
right?
And then on top of that, I care more about the result than I care about your feelings.
It's just what it is.
Sorry.
Right.
So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna say what I feel like is gonna move the needle forward.
Right.
So what you got?
So I think okay. So in your role, when you first started out, you didn't say much because, and we talked about this last podcast, incompetence. What is that?
Unconsciously incompetent.
So you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some things like I noticed too, like even in my process of what I do in a day-to-day basis, I would hear that you need to do certain things, like in media and posting and certain things like that. You know how you learn. You're like, man, I ain't gotta do all that. I gotta do all that, man. You know what I mean? But until you learn, like, oh, it's affecting this. This is what I need to do, because I'm like, dang, is that serious?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think like the more experience we get too, we'll learn to. I guess be more vocal. Yeah. In that sense. So.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I think also like because it's even people that are not leaders right now, right? And when you look at your you sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you fed up with like your current situation.
Right.
So you start to like, even sometimes, man, sometimes that vocal, those verbal expressions, can be negative.
Yeah.
And sometimes they start negative.
Yeah.
And then somebody along the line somewhere tells you like, well, if you feel that way, just change it.
Right.
Well, like, maybe I will. Right. But like, yeah, but like the first thing is like you start to like, and that's like sometimes like again, it's sometimes misguided sometimes where you'll hear people complaining and you'll hear people, saying different things. Like that's a sign of leadership.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't care, like showing that they care, right? Because if they didn't care, they wouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Now they might not do anything. They might be at a point right now where they're doing anything about it, but it's a good sign that okay, this person doesn't like the situation they're in,
right?
And it's to the point where they want to voice that frustration.
You know what it remind me of?
What's that?
Newborn Christian, born again Christian.
Okay, walk me through that. Okay.
If you notice that, I guess I can speak for myself. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. But you see it common when people first get saved. Mm-hmm. We call it zealous. They be zealous, right?
Yeah.
You going to hell. You shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I get. You know, we understand biblical principles. We understand scriptures, but they come out on fire, ready to flame everybody up, man. And we're like, whoa, hold on, slow down, babe. You know, because there are some trials and some, situations you have to go through to brushing up your empathy levels,
right?
Before you can just start flaming, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what that reminds me of.
No, it does. Yeah. It does.
But they're more vocal, but that shows you that they're passionate about Christ. So, I love it. It's funny because I was in the shoes, in those shoes,
right?
But I love it because I'm like, you gonna be fine.
Yeah,
you gonna be fine. Yeah.
So that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Step 2, or sign number 2.
Now these aren't in order, by the way.
I don't know.
Nah, they definitely not in order.
Okay.
because go ahead. Number 2.
For me, I don't know, they kind of in order for me, in a sense. Not really. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. You begin to ask more questions.
Okay.
In formal settings to get understanding. Because the first sign is you just vocal. You just getting it out, right?
Okay.
But now you're trying to get understanding of why things are the way that they are.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So that way you can pivot into, okay, this is something that I really had to like learn just about, like, because so I give you story time, right?
Wait, hold on.
Story time.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm trying to remember the situation, but I don't really remember. I can't remember the situation like 100%, but I know the result of it. Okay. So my RVP would call me, and she would be like, "Hey, I need you to do this. Right. Like, I need you to have a conversation about this or whatever it is, right?" And I would go and have a conversation about that directly. Not understanding the message. Like, I missed the message that it just went over my head on what we're trying to get, like, to communicate. Right. And I just kind of repeated in a sense of what I was told to do. Oh, without that. I did what you told me to do. But now, like, learning, like, now that I'm, again, more tenured, right? When I ask, when I'm in these settings or these formal settings or whatever it is, I'm getting more understanding. Right. Oh, so the goal, this is the end goal of why they're telling us. So, okay, let's just fix this. But there's another way to get to what we want to get to without, following that direct path. Yeah. So I think it's the, is it the CME or what am I? I forgot what I am. You're CS. CS. Man, I don't think I'm an S, by the way. I feel like, I don't know, man. I think you're an S. You know what an S is, though? Yeah. I feel like an S is unconscious. No, you can be conscious. You can be conscious and steady. Oh, okay. Anyway. You just choose. You just choose to be chilled. Yeah, or not chill, but just like, it's you ain't gonna rock the boat too much. It's okay. Oh yeah, but anyway, but so I think it's the C in me. Okay. Where I have to get understanding before I say something. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was like, it may not be for me. I don't think it's not in order for me. Well, it depends. It may be. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll figure it out. I have to get understanding on why something the way it is the way it is, because I'm gonna overthink it too. I'm like, I might be tripping. Man, this is probably the older me now. I just overthink it. Like, I could be tripping, but let me get further understanding before I voice something. Right. But if I do voice something now, it's gonna be in a form of a question. Well, maybe do you think this may be affecting this? In that type of way. So, yeah, I just had to piggyback on that, man. Yeah, and I also like, and this is what I told them I'm on this journey now, right? And what I see myself doing now, again, the formal settings. Whenever we're having like somebody's presenting or something, I found myself asking more questions because I'm trying to figure out again, how can I take this back to my team?
Yeah.
And because I don't want, again, I know that the information, like, people don't tell you stuff just to tell you stuff, right? Like, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully,
I don't know. Because I have heard, well, that's just the way it is. I'm like, what you mean?
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. But in my field, right, it's a lot of information.
Right.
But all of it is useful in a sense, right?
Makes sense.
So, okay, if I know that, okay, this is what they're trying to exude or communicate through their presentation, how can I ask the question about what they're talking about, again, to be able to make it more real life for my team, to be able to move our performance forward.
Okay, so that's a good thing, especially for leadership. So I think now okay, as a JIT, I wanted to know stuff just to say I know it. And I know more.
As a JIT?
As a little JIT.
As a little JIT?
As a JIT.
Are you from Florida? What you talking about JIT?
As a JIT, as a youngin'.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
As a youngin'.
All right.
You just want to learn stuff to say, I know it, and I know more than you. But now, now when I acquire information, it is so that I can share. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like, for instance, me learning YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. I want to learn YouTube because I'm in media. You know, I do media production. Right. Yeah, I want to help my clients, you know, optimize and monetize on YouTube. You know, that's another source of income for them. You know, if they're hiring me, I want to help them get money. Right. You know, so like now I'm looking at understanding this YouTube, understanding media, what makes people click, and things of that nature, so that I can take it back to my peoples, and just make their experience a little bit user experience a little bit better, man. Doobies, this is Be More to Do More podcast,
and we have some exciting news for you today.
Listen, we're coming up on 1 year of Be More to Do More podcast, and we really appreciate you all for rocking with our content. But listen, y'all don't want to miss this opportunity right here.
Yes, sir. We've launched an email subscription list where you'll get bonus episodes, get behind the scenes information, as well as discounts on all merchandise and events. Best part about it, it's free.
It's free. This is the chance to dive deeper into conversations you love.
Yes, sir. So hit that subscribe button right now and join our incredible community.
Let's go.
Let's go. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 3?
We can go for number 3.
All right. Your peers start to come to you for advice.
Oh, my God.
You become the expert.
You become the thought leader.
A thought leader, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sign that you're transitioning to leadership, right? Because you've had some type of success. Oh, maybe it's not in order. I will flip 3 and 4 around, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they can take it how they need to, man. Sure.
But like you start to become the person that people feel comfortable asking, man, how did you get this? How did you get this number? How did you I was So yeah.
Sound like you want to, hey, come on, man.
No. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll say it, but it's gonna be on step 5. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
But again, like again, your peers are coming to you for advice. So it just, because the reality of it is, like, what is a leader without any followers? And I don't mean that in like a degrading way.
Yeah.
But like, because here's the reality, right? Like, I definitely go to other peers, right? Or like, and that's, you know what? I feel like that's my superpower.
Okay.
When it comes to like being successful or like trying to learn how to like do something, right? I don't have an ego.
Okay.
I don't have an ego to like, if what I'm doing is not working, right? I'll put everything to the side and go ask somebody. Yeah. Hey, how did you get this? Like, how are y'all doing this? Right. Like, right. And I give you an example. Right. Okay. So I called one of my other area managers, because they've been absolutely crushing it in terms of like, we do audits on every car that we clean. Okay. Right? So I called him and I was like, man, y'all are crushing it. Right. Like, we are struggling over here. What are you doing that's that's getting you guys the results.
Right.
And what he told me was so simple. He was like, yeah, I just let's set the expectation, right? And the people that don't meet it, they know we're gonna have a conversation about it, have a call about it.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay. I made that small tweak that one week. We went up like 30%.
Dang.
Above the goal.
Dang.
One tweak. So you have to be able to one, reach out to people for advice.
Right.
But you'll start to see that, your performance starts to increase. People gonna come to you for advice.
Yeah. And I think too, like, if you're comfortable with getting advice from other people, then people will be comfortable with getting advice from you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like this type of thing, like, because everybody want followers these days. Mm-hmm. They want to be a thought leader these days. You know what I mean? But you have to understand that every leader is a good follower. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you are good at following, then more than likely you'll be good at leading. So if you're able to take advice, people seeing you getting the advice, wanting to better yourself, wanting to get the information, then they're going to want to come to you,
right.
For the advice, because they know to some degree you're not full of yourself and you're not going to steer them in the wrong direction.
Right.
So, yeah, me, I don't even consider myself, it's a leadership podcast, but sometimes it's hard to call myself a leader. You know what I mean? Because even an expert, because I'm always learning, I'm always, like you say, I'm always asking for advice. I'm always looking for information so I can be better to help people.
Right.
So they don't mind coming to me for advice,
right.
Because, they see that I'm not in it for self-interest, and it's kind of weird to even say that, but yeah.
What you mean? What's so weird about it?
Because I don't want to be the one saying that I'm not in it for self-interest. I'd rather you say that I'm not in it for self-interest.
Hold on. Explain. I'm trying.
Because if I say I'm not in it for self-interest, then I feel like it makes me look like I'm in it for self-interest. I don't know.
So you're saying like it's not about me, it's about you? But people need to say that about you, I guess?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a weird little tweet.
No, I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand it because it's like, it's almost, it's almost like you don't want to, it's almost like you feel like you're trying to sell somebody else something.
Yeah. My motives are clear saying it.
Right.
But just to say it is like,
right.
Yeah,
is it really that way? Is it you trying to manipulate me?
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I want to move on to 4.
Okay.
Because I think I'm gonna tie it back into 3. I feel like.
All right.
Because I feel like 3 and 4 should be swapped.
Right.
And I'm probably spend some time on this one, but
that might be number 1, man.
I think. Well, maybe maybe.
Yeah, but we're gonna say number 4.
Number 4, the 4th sign that you're transitioning into leadership. You block out all the noise and you focus on KPIs.
Okay.
What are KPIs? So my doobies out there, right?
Doobies.
This is a leadership or business term, right? Mm-hmm. KPIs are key performance indicators. Mm-hmm. You have to know what the key performance indicators are for your business, for your market, for your industry, whatever you're doing, because that is what's going to move the needle, not all the other stuff. You got to block out the noise.
Yeah.
For example, right? If you are, my mom owns a cleaning business.
Right.
Well, her key performance indicator, one of her key performance indicators is how many houses she's cleaning or apartments or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. What a noise item would be is, let's call it taxes or like, and like almost like invoicing in a sense, or it's needed for the business,
right?
But it's not going to move the performance forward.
No,
and that's the tricky part because you have to be able to identify: is this a key performance indicator,
right,
or is it just noise? It's hard to distinguish what's noise and what's key performance indicator, a KPI is.
Yep. I see. Okay. Going back to 2.
Okay.
You have to get the understanding of what you're doing. You know, once you get clear and get the understanding, then you know what KPIs you need to move.
Yeah.
Like for me, prime example, YouTube. You know, I've been on this YouTube thing, you know, coaching for a month now, right? I just know I wanted views.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
subscribers maybe.
And subscribers. But come to find out, you know, with the coaching calls, and that's not really the KPIs I should be looking for. It's crazy, right?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So they're saying that because YouTube is all about views, like that's what everybody, the standard consumer.
Right. Yeah.
The standard consumer understands that YouTube is about the views. But as a creative or creator, you shouldn't be. That's not your priority.
It's a priority, but it's third. Your key performance indicator should be where you're getting your views from. It's crazy, right? See, I'm putting y'all on game, man. I should be charging y'all, but you know, I don't do it for me. It's where you getting your. So you have 3 KPIs. You have the browse feature, you have the suggested feed, you have the channel page, and you have the search. That's 4. If you getting most of your views from external, that means you're manually working to get your views. So every time you post a video, you're gonna have to do that every week. Who wants to do that every week to get views?
Right.
And most of the time, those views are not gonna be consistent.
Right.
Every week, because you know you want to get the browse feature views, because those are the people who are clicking on you. So either you've been in a watch history or they clicked on your channel.
Right.
So every time they pull up YouTube, your channel is going to pop up on their homepage. And if they click, that's a key performance indicator you need to be watching for browse features, because now you're creating a viewership.
Right.
You know, so the more of those you get, and suggested feed, because suggested feed is where YouTube is working for you. You know what I mean? So now I don't have to worry about. Now search is good too,
right?
But you got the people who's commenting, you know, look for how to make a cake, and they just comment to figure it out and leave. They don't care nothing about your channel,
right?
But the browse features and suggested feeds are, now you're creating a fan base, and then you know, once you build those viewerships. Then you have a fan base. Now that's when brand deals and sponsorships and all that come into play.
Ooh, that boy dropping gems today, baby.
Hey man, I might have to.
Ooh, hey, you about to charge? What a Patreon is?
I might have to put that on. I'm gonna put that on my email. You know what I mean? Cash up your boy. Now, be more to do more. Nah.
That's so you saying? I know I missed the names. So suggested is where you want to be at, or is it browsing?
Browse feature and suggested is what you want. That's YouTube, because YouTube is working for you now. Now, if you're search is good too. That's why you had the keywords and stuff. Search is good, but those viewers don't stay. Sometimes,
right?
You know, they because they might have hit your keywords. They might have looked. Oh no, this ain't what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or they'll listen a little bit. Oh, that's fine. But you know, I don't care nothing about it.
Right.
You know. But too though, if they click on your channel like a couple of times, you'll end up on their homepage. So if they're now they're added to browse feature every week. So it's good for certain. You see what I'm saying? It's good to have keywords. Not saying that it's not, but views are good, but you know, browse feature and retention is good too. You know, so all of that stuff plays.
No, it makes sense, because when I'm a YouTube junkie, right? I'm a Google person, right? So like, I get flack for this at work, but I don't really rock with iPhones.
Hey man, me neither.
Apple, like I like Apple. I like Macs. Like I think it's a superior computer.
Right.
But
you do got a.
Yeah, I got a Mac. Yeah,
that's crazy. I just thought about it. How you got a? Never mind.
Yeah, because I think it's. I don't have it for I don't know how long, and it still works.
Right.
Like but if it was a PC, it wouldn't be.
Right.
What it is, right? So, I was going somewhere with this. Where was I going with this?
You a YouTuber? you like?
Yeah. I saw YouTube, and and the things that I watch regularly, it always pops up on like I never have to go out and search for it because it always pops up.
It's on your homepage
every single time.
Yep.
I got like 3 or 4 things that I listen to every single week, and they always pop up. And I forget. I forget about them until like
you see them.
I just go. Oh yeah, they got a new episode out. Let me listen to it.
Yeah, straight from browse.
And they killing us over here. Dang,
they got you, bruh.
Dang, I like it though. I like it because I don't complain because that's what I'm looking for. Like, so it's a win-win, right?
You're part of the web.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. Like when it comes to subscribers, you may not even subscribe the first video, but the second video, the third video, you may subscribe. You know, so it's that type of thing. You're creating a fan base. You know, so that you can get these brand deals and sponsorships. Stuff like that, and, you know, patrons, and, you know, stuff like that. Y'all better catch it while it's early,
right? You
know what I mean?
Right.
We going up soon, but yeah.
No, I like, and I think about, and what it made me think about though is, because you said you don't necessarily look at the views, and it's where it's coming from, because it made me think about like when you're hiring somebody, right? And like we have, you know, different tiers or different things that. Actually, that learn this in the meeting, right?
So snap! No.
So we have different things that, you know, on how we're getting our people, how we're getting the people that we hire,
right?
Because, you know, the people that search us that find us on like a third party site like Indeed or something like that, right?
Right.
They're not as engaged with the company because. Think about it. There's just hundreds of other jobs there, right?
Yeah.
You're just another link,
right? Yeah.
And then you have, you know, I'm not going through all the buckets, but so like those are like kind of, I ain't gonna say the worst ones, but like they're not like ideal,
right?
But the ones that are the best is like the referral. Like somebody that works for you told them, hey, you should apply, because typically that person is going to have somebody that's obviously invested in the company and you know they're talking well about it,
right?
But they also have, when they get started, they have somebody that can like they can lean on. And
yeah.
So it reminds me of that, where it's like, why would you like? Because again, some of those people that find you,
right,
you have to do a lot more work to try to earn their buy-in, versus the people that already come in like and they sold on their friend told them about it.
That's interesting.
It's interesting, man.
That's
I'm telling you, man.
And all them jobs. Looking at all them jobs on Indeed back in the day. Man, that's crazy.
It's just another company.
Yeah,
it's just another company.
Yeah,
so.
maybe I could do this. Let me click here. Yeah. Question: do y'all look at zip codes on the resumes?
Nah.
I used to take my zip code, my address off my resume.
Oh, cause like you from there, so
yeah. Nah, we don't want that.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Nah, I don't look at none of that stuff. I don't look at what school you went to. I don't care nothing about that. Like,
right.
Now, what I do care about is you know how I guess tenure. You know, because that kind of shows you know, you had 3 jobs in the last 12 months.
I'm out.
You know, it may be a reason though, right? Like, because it happens where.
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about if he was interviewing me. Like, it gotta be a reason. Nope.
You know what's so crazy? People be like, man. I get that a lot. Like, you probably wouldn't hire me. I get that a lot. Like, you know. So
man,
I got high standards. What can I say? I think what you have to do is you have to block out the noise as well, because there's going to be so many different things that come up that are not going to move the needle.
Yeah.
Or you're strategic in how you use those or how those things come up. Like,
right.
For example, right? Like, if my business is construction, I need to be strategic on when I'm ordering supplies.
Right.
So that way it doesn't affect when I'm on a job and we run out of concrete.
Right.
You know?
Right. You become a trusted leader.
Right.
Yeah. Or you brought up a valid point too. Or So you know how you have the Indeed hires and then you have the referrals.
Mm-hmm.
If your strategy is mostly based on getting a referral base set of employers versus Indeed, it's so simple and easy to take the low hanging fruit, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to be a leader or if you want to lead in your area, you have to do the necessary steps it takes to get or recruit better.
Mm-hmm.
So versus taking the easy route, you stick to your guns and you stick on this specific strategy to get the referrals.
Right.
Just like, like YouTube. Like, yeah, I want the views. We got people who paying for views. You know what I mean? That's low hanging fruit. It's easy to pay $20 to get 1,600 views. You know what I mean? That's easy. But do I want to do that every time I post a video?
Right.
No,
Right.
no, it's going to cost me. And I'm not going to be a leading, we're not going to be a leading brand or channel. Just like, what you do, you're not going to be a leading, you're not going to be leading in your area. So you don't want to take those low hanging fruit. You don't want to listen to the noise.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all need to have more or you need to be number one. And you know what I mean? And just take shortcuts. So hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah.
And again, like set your calendar up.
Right.
Set your calendar up because that's what's going to help, a lot of the noise items.
Right.
And I think like you have to understand too what's important to the people that can really throw a wrench in your day.
What you mean?
So like, and it comes from top and bottom, right? Like,
Right. Oh.
for example, right? Like if your leader
Thought about
finds this important, you better make sure that you knock out whatever that is.
Right.
Because because you might not find it important, but it's going to throw everything off because they're going to continue to request it
Right.
until they get it.
Right.
Because they got to give it to somebody probably, right?
Yeah.
And then also for, your team members, you got to figure out what's important to them as well.
Right.
And make sure you're supplying that on a consistent basis. So that way, when you're trying to, it may be customer service, right? You focus on customer service, right?
Right.
Well, you have somebody on your team that is not as emotionally balanced.
Right.
And you haven't had a conversation with this person, and you know that you need to have a conversation with this person every week, once a week. You just need to have a life conversation with them.
Right, yeah.
And you haven't done it in 3 weeks. And now you're in the 4th week, and you need this last week to go great for you to have the customer service numbers that you need.
Right.
Well, what happens is now it becomes whatever they got going on in their life starts to affect and bleed into work.
Right.
And it starts to affect your KPIs, right? What you're trying to move forward with.
Oh, yeah.
So now you got this noise item that this person is dealing with.
Yeah.
It's affecting them,
What they call it, preventive maintenance?
Preventative maintenance.
Yeah, preventative maintenance.
100%.
Dang.
So you have to have that type of preventative maintenance to be able to, be able to continue to focus on the right KPIs.
I got a question for you, man.
All right, what's your question?
Okay, because you're a leader. You
Allegedly.
up there, man. You make a lot of money. And
Allegedly.
he said it in a long time.
You ain't talk about money in a long time.
I know, right? We said it in a long time. So, what if your leader isn't focused? What if they are distracted by the noise? Because I witnessed this. I want to say, no, I don't think she look at this podcast. Never mind. Anyway, I don't think she watches podcast, but I want to say who it is, but I don't know.
No, you ain't got to say who it is.
I don't know. I want it because I just want to spill the tea.
Spill it without saying it. Let's call her Sharmika.
Sharmika. All right, we're gonna say Sharmika. Let's just say your wife, have a manager, right?
Okay.
That's just all over the place, not
Okay.
focused, and she let the noise interrupt, and stuff like that. So she gives your wife a priority item, and your wife is a leader over, people too. And the wife is your wife is attending to the priority, the KPI.
Okay.
But because your wife's leader is not organized, she throws something else in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, you need to focus on this.
Right.
So now your wife switch gears and focus on this.
Okay.
And then it throws off of what initially she was supposed to focus on, and then she come back and be like, "Yo, what's going on here? Like, why? You know, your wife's manager coming like, what's going on here? Like how do you deal with that?
What's going on here with the KPI or with the other thing?
Yeah, with the KPI, not the other thing she just threw in there, but she threw in there because it, you know, it. What like? How do you deal with it? I just want to know.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk to your wife, and you know, let's talk about that.
You know what's so crazy? So like. This may be a difficult question for some people, but like this is cut and dry easy for me, right?
Okay.
And it made me think about I had one of my guys tell me he was like, man, Henry, man, you so stoic. it's like
that's the third time I heard that word this week.
Yeah, stoic.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was like, I'm gonna start calling you Rainix. Like what?
Oh man.
It was like, man, somebody come to you with something, man, it just roll off. Like it just you're like, okay, well let's see what we can figure out about it. You know, it's like so like when you ask me that question, it sounds very difficult. Like, oh my gosh, what do I that's a great question. It's a great question, right? Like what do I do? My leader is asking for this, but I really need to do this.
Yeah.
And now they're getting on to me because I didn't do what I'm supposed to do because I'm doing what they asked me to do.
Right.
And it goes back to number 2.
Getting understanding, asking questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, you know.
What's important?
Wife, boss, whatever. I can do that. Mm-hmm. It's going to take me approximately an hour and a half to do that.
Okay.
Now, if you want me to, I'll knock it out, but I just want to make sure that you know that this is going to be affected by it.
Okay.
How do you want me to go about that? Do you want me to finish this first, this key performance indicator first, and then I can knock that out?
Right.
Or do you want me to kind of do both at the same time? Or do you want me to knock out what you need me to do first? What works best for you?
Oh, I'm gonna go talk to my wife. I mean, your wife about this. I'm gonna cut out this part. I'm gonna send it to your wife.
You know,
okay,
that's it though, man. Like, like it's literally that's like again, like when I talked about last episode, we overcomplicate things sometimes.
Yeah, so just ask questions.
Just ask questions.
Yeah, that is simple.
Yeah, but like we don't. But why don't we ask questions though? You gotta get a little. It's a little deeper, right? Or like, is this person approachable? Right? Do they feel like I'm gonna be incapable if I ask a question?
Maybe your wife just don't care about it because she don't, you know.
Yeah, you know.
We got to have a talk with your wife.
But it's about your peace, though. Sometimes you got to protect your peace, right?
Yeah,
you got to teach people how to love you, right?
Yeah.
And or teach people how to manage you,
right?
And you're not finna come to me and get on to me about this, and this when you know. You told me to do this.
Right.
I'm not going for it.
Right.
And you know, and there's a lot of people like, especially D's, right? High D's.
Right.
You know, people that are more dominant.
Yeah, like your wife.
Yeah, you know, they just have to express that.
Right.
Because they're gonna get pissed off when you come to them sideways talking about a KPI that didn't get done.
Right. Yeah.
So let me be dominant in the front end.
Okay.
Versus the back end.
Makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we got that out of the way. Focus on your KPIs, man. You know, let make sure you know which indicators are driving the most valuable thing in your business or in your career, whatever, man. But focus on that. Get away from the noise.
Yep.
Yeah. And what we got? What's the last
sign number 5?
What's number 5? Leadership
notices your increase in effectiveness.
Oh, that's it. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Because I think, and I don't know, man, every company's not the same, but I feel like majority of people, right? Like,
right.
In general, they see that you're working hard. They see that you're doing everything that you can and, you know, all those things, right? But if you're just working just to work and you're not having any results,
right?
Then what are we doing this for, right?
Right.
And the sign that you're transitioning to leadership is that all the work that you're doing,
right,
you're starting to see the fruits of your labor in a sense.
Oh,
and it's showing effectiveness, right, or efficiency.
Right.
And that's when people start to, you know, pay attention, that's when you know that's like the last part that you need, because here's the reality too, right? Mm-hmm. In order to get stamped to go to the next level, sometimes your leader has to sign off on you, whether that's a letter of recommendation, whether that's, you know, whatever it is, right? So you have to, and as much as we don't like that somebody else controls your career in a sense,
right?
The reality of it, somebody else controls your career. Whoever's doing your review, they gotta look at you in a positive way.
Man, which brings me to nah, not that.
No, not lyric of the week.
Nah, not that.
Scripture of the week.
Yeah. So God. Hey man, shout out to PB, by the way, man.
PB, I need to hit up PB, see how he doing.
Yeah. Let's talk about scripture, man. We're gonna go to Luke 14 because you said something. Well, you know, we don't like that. The fact that what do they say, our destiny is in somebody else's hand or something. We don't like that, you know. We don't like it at all. But let me tell you what Jesus said, right?
Oh, what did Christ say about that?
Let me tell you what Jesus and God said. We're going to go to Luke 14. We're going to start at 10. And the word says, but when you are invited, it's talking about going to a wedding and, you know, don't go sit in the best seats when you go to a wedding. But it says, when you are invited, go and sit down in the lowest place, so that when he who invite you comes, he may say to you, friend, go up higher. Then you will have glory in the presence of those who sit at the table with you. So Jesus saying, don't go sit in the best of seats, the best of places, so that when somebody, you know, who's greater than you comes in, the person invited you, tell them, hey, go sit in the back.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's
reserved.
Yeah, it's reserved. That's humiliating.
Right.
What do seats got to do with leadership, man? What does any of this got? It's talking about being humble. You know, you like you say, we don't sometimes like the fact that our destiny is tied in somebody else's hand, but we should remain humble to a sense. And people ain't gonna like this because this is a personal development moment. Humility is seeing that, you know, you said it before, you're not as good as you think you are, but you're not as bad as you think you are.
As bad as they say you are.
Bad as they say you are. Sometimes we just think we are better than, you know, this person, better than where we should be, better than this. When, I'm going to use his word, when in reality, we have so far to go, you know, either in leadership, in a position, you know, before we get a job, in business, you know, so we should just remain in a state of, I need to be better, you know, just a state of development versus I'm already there, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I believe that when you are in a position in management or even wanting to get to management, if you remain humble and develop yourself, that your leaders will see this, you know, and eventually you'll get on those calls. Yo, shout out to Henry, you know, he's number one and such. Shout out to, now you're getting the recognition.
Speaking of that, let's talk about that real quick.
Let's talk about that, yeah.
Because sometimes, man, being number one ain't. Sorry to cut you off, but I just
get it out, man. Get it out.
You know, like, you know, I was gonna. That's why I didn't say earlier, but
you a target,
bro. They got me out here like Ricky on Boys in the Hood.
Hold on. They got you like what?
They got me out here like Ricky on Boys in the Hood.
Oh man, I ain't playing. There you go.
I'm on a call, man. And like every single person that's coming after, you know, we got a performance call pretty much, like it's kind of going through performance on certain thing, whatever. And you know, I'm on this call and you know, one of our leaders, he's like, yeah, you need to get like Henry. if I'm y'all, I'm targeting him. I'm trying to take him out. I'm like, God dang, bro. Like, you know, but no, I like, because I like, that's the stuff that like, it's weird, bro. Like I'm more motivated. Right. I know we talked about motivation in the last episode, but I'm more motivated by like fear of failure than than like achieving success, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it made perfect sense, man. I think it's using both of those emotions, you know, the fear of failure and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the falling off effect, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, nah, I can't.
Right.
You know, and I won't.
Yeah.
I'm finna,
Oh man, what's the oh yeah, it's
But you said something key off air though. While you think about that,
Yeah.
you said because you said I remain on these calls because I'm actually humbled. You know what I mean? You know, because you know at any minute somebody you got a target on your back.
Yeah.
You know, they invited you to go sit in that seat in front of everybody. You know,
Right.
But somebody want that seat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But in one instant, you know, you are competitive, but humble because, you know, at any day, somebody could, if I don't go as hard as I go now, somebody could take this, you know. So it is a humbling experience, even when you're exalted. It's still a humbling experience. So yeah, that's a personal development tip for y'all, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Right. Even. Like continue to do the things that got you there.
Right. Yes.
Like don't shoot. Matter of fact, do more.
Yeah.
Be more.
Be more.
Because the reality of it, man, like the last thing you want is to get comfortable.
Right.
And then like kind of like you talked about, right? You walk in there, hey, I'm the man. You know, I'm gonna sit in this best seat, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then, well, hey, actually, you actually weren't the best, so I appreciate you, you know, warming it up for this person.
Right.
But you can move down a notch because this person is here
in front of everybody.
Yeah,
you just got demoted in front of everybody.
Right. So you got to stay humble, bro. Like you got to stay humble because it's just, you know, you get so high on how you're doing and you can't handle the fall sometimes, you know, the fall off.
I was just about to say, man, hey, if you stay low, that fall ain't so hard, man. You know what I mean?
And I ain't gonna say stay low, right? You know, it's okay to pump your chest a little bit, right? Like it's, you know, say, hey, I'm that dude, right? It's okay to be that, but I think in the back of your mind, you gotta know that success is not. I got a branch manager that on her like signature line. She has she says success is not owned, it's simply rented or leased.
Yeah,
and rent is due every day or something like that, right?
Yep.
And that's just the reality, right? Like you have to continue to pay your dues every single day,
right? Because
if you get too, you know, I'm the man,
right?
You ain't gonna be nowhere.
That's what Kobe said, man. Kobe was like, I think he was interviewed by your boy, Bet David.
Patrick David.
Yeah. And he was like, I never went on like vacation with the other teammates. You know, like I just never did that. You know, and Bet David asked, he was like, you know, everybody talk about your schedule, like. How long did you do that for? He was like 20 years. Like
nobody else is doing this.
Like you know what I mean?
It's normal.
Even Tom Brady, he was like, And I don't know if you saw the interview.
I saw like half of me and Alan was listening to like half of it.
Yeah, he was like other guys are friends. I wasn't friends with nobody, man.
Right.
Friends, you know. He was like, because I'm competitive,
right? You
know, so like I think people do get comfortable, you know, like, and we do understand that. Some people, you do understand you got a target on you, man. Pretty much, man. Yeah. So
you know what? And one thing that kind of helps me too is I start to look at other areas. Like what helps me kind of balance it out. Oh yeah, I'm killing in this area, but this other area I'm not killing it in.
Yeah.
Right, and that helps me kind of balance out how to go about, you know. It takes my focus off of what we're doing great,
right?
To immediately focusing on, okay, how can I get this area improved?
Makes sense.
You know, so it automatically keeps you humble,
right?
You know, so yeah, so don't let these folks put a target on your back. But that's what I was trying to say too, because like I like it more because it because you know I hate to be a has-been. Right, you know, you've seen them people, man. Like, I don't know if have we talked about it? Like,
nah,
like almost like local jokes in the sense of like, man, like 50 say, right, dang, homie, in high school you was a man, homie.
Yeah,
what happened to you, right? Like, and I think like that's the part that kind of like keeps me extremely humble because I never want to be a used to be.
Ooh, man.
Little baby got a quote, a verse that say that too. I might use it later on, but yeah.
Okay, we're gonna save it. Save the balls, man, for next episode. So, yeah, man. So that's 5 signs that you're transitioning into leadership. We have you become more vocal, getting understanding and asking questions. When your peers or people are coming to you for advice, when you're focused on those KPIs and focused on driving those KPIs, and other leaders start to notice you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my last piece on this, right? That's the goal, because you should never be, and I say this lightly in a sense, but you should never be so caught up in what you are doing.
Right.
And I ain't gonna say you get caught up in what other people are saying about you, but you should care about what your leaders are saying about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if your leaders are talking good about you, and they're recommending you for other things and all these great whatever, right? And they're recognizing you, you're on the right path.
That's crazy. It's crazy that you said all of this, and we started with doubt, right?
Yeah.
You said all of this, but even I heard that even when I got a target on my back, I still know that somebody's coming. So I gotta, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's still doubt there, but that's just, an indication that, you're on another level. But anyway, yeah.
Allegedly.
Hey, making a lot of money, like Henry Hardin III, and stuff like that. So anything else, man?
That's all I got, man.
Hey, man, that's all I got. Y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Man, let's get this information out of here, man. Y'all download this on Spotify. All that, man. And I think we out. We out. All right.
Head up, cause you concerned about it. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about him. Going hard for the game, showing love, on tolerate.